Hi Gemini, welcome to June. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy. So this month we have a new moon eclipse in your sign in Gemini on June 10th. Venus moves into Cancer on June 3rd. Mars moves into Leo on June 12th. Jupiter and Neptune go retrograde this month, and Mercury goes direct on the 22nd. And then we have a full moon in Capricorn on June 24th. So we'll get into that later. Let's see what the cards say for Gemini. What does Gemini need to know about love and relationships for the month of June 2021? This eclipse is happening in your first house, so it's going to be affecting your relationships, definitely. It could be an ending followed by a new beginning. So what does... It's a solar eclipse, so a male figure could be eclipsed from your life. Whenever we have eclipses, especially new or full, it really changes the trajectory of your life in a big way, especially when it's angular, when it's in the first house, fourth, 7th, or 10th house. So all the mutable signs are having this eclipse energy. They're feeling it really strongly right now. So what does Gemini need to know about love and relationships for the month of June 2021? What does Gemini need to know? What is coming up for Gemini? The Temperance card, the Knight of Swords, the Justice, the Five of Pentacles, the Fool, the Death, the Seven of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Cups, awesome, and the King of Cups. Okay, so whatever you're wanting to start this month, you have the wish fulfillment card here. And you have a lot of major arcana, so that's good too. Let's see. So you have the Temperance crossed by the Knight of Swords. The Temperance card is about finding balance. It's learning how to blend opposing sides or opposing energies and find the middle ground. Find a workable compromise. So in a relationship, you may have to see things from the other person's perspective and find a middle ground and compromise. So if you're in some type of a conflict in a relationship, being willing to compromise, to communicate, to see things from the other person's side will help with creating harmony. Sometimes the Temperance card could also talk about work-life balance. Like, are you spending too much time working and not enough time with your relationship? You need to balance that out too. Have more downtime, time for play, for fun, for love, for romance. I feel like with this Knight of Swords energy, you could be making a quick departure this month. The Knight of Swords energy is a quick arrival or a quick departure. So either you're leaving something suddenly, or someone maybe, if it's not you, it could be a partner is leaving your life in one way or another. The Knight of Swords energy, it could be your energy because it's an air energy. But if it's not, it could, if it's a partnership, the Knight of Swords is someone who is a little bit selfish or jumping into something without thinking. So it could be that a partner is doing something without considering how their actions are affecting others. So that could be you or someone else. The Knight of Swords energy could be a little bit self-centered, like you're someone who's focused on their own agenda, and they just want to jump into something. They're frustrated. They just want to do something. It's kind of a reckless energy. So you could be dealing with someone that's like this, that you feel is a little bit selfish and reckless and argumentative at times. If that's true, Otherwise, it could mean don't do anything reckless. Don't make a decision about a relationship. Maybe you're thinking like, I'm tired of fighting with this person and I'm just going to leave, So then the Temperance is saying, try to work something out. Try to see things from the other person's perspective. Try to find a compromise. And then if you can't, then you can decide to leave. But don't do anything impulsive. Don't do anything reactive. The worst decisions we make is when we let our emotions make the decision rather than trying to be calm and come to a strategic plan. So you have Justice in the past and the Five of Pentacles. This could be, sometimes it comes up when there's some kind of legal situation. So for some of you, you might be, if you're dissolving a relationship, there could be some legal things around it. There might be a judgment that has to be made or has been made. You have the Five of Pentacles. That could be instability, financial instability. So if you're leaving a relationship, you may be worried about money. Sometimes the Five of Pentacles can mean feeling cut off from loved ones, feeling isolated, left like you're on the outside looking in. So if you're in some kind of partnership, you may feel like you're not part of the team anymore. You're not part of the, like you're not, you're kind of being left out. You're feeling left out. But, so if you're in a situation where you feel, and this is also, it could be depression, someone going through a period of depression. Now, you could be dealing with someone that's like you're helping someone who's going through a difficult time, and you might be helping them out financially. So this is a general reading, so it may not apply to everyone, but this is how these cards can work out. So some of you might be feeling depressed and separated from loved ones. Others might be helping someone through a difficult time who's going through it, who's struggling financially and maybe even physically with mental issues or depression. Because you have this King of Cups here. This is a card of the healer. Someone, like it could be a counselor. So maybe it could even be a good friend that you turn to and you talk to them about what's going on in your life and they give you good advice. You have the Fool coming up here with the Death card. So this is like major energy. The Fool represents a brand new beginning, a new cycle coming in, where you're walking into a whole new scene, something that you haven't had a previous experience with. So it can be exciting and it can also be scary because it's brand new. And you have the Death here, so I feel like something is ending in your life. Some cycle is ending. And you have to clear out the old. You have to stop focusing on the past. Release the past. If something has ended in your life, let it go. Don't hold on. Don't try to hold on to the past because you have this new energy coming in that can lead you to a brand new beginning. You have the Seven of Pentacles here. And that's a card of planting seeds and waiting to see where things are going to go. And you also have the Seven of Cups. So I feel like you're in transition. Sevens are transitional numbers. 5 is like instability. But 5 is passing. This is something that's an energy that's passing. So if you've had some kind of financial instability or instability in a relationship, that's ending. And with the sevens, you're kind of in transition. You're transitioning between the old and the new this month. And the Death card, you have to, bless it, release it, say, okay, if a relationship is ending or some situation in your life, a cycle is ending, you have to accept the ending. Like the Death, you have no choice. It's like, this is happening, I can't do anything to change it, I just have to accept it. I can't hold on, I have to release. The good thing is, once you do that and you release that energy and you clear out that old energy, you're making room for the new to come in. And here it is. This is just forming, the Fool. But I feel like you have work to do yet in releasing the old before you can bring in this new energy. You have the Knight of Cups here. It could be connected with this King. So there's a romantic proposal on offer. There could be someone coming in, some new energy. Could be a water sign. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. It could be even a creative project. Sometimes the Knight is very artistic, so it's someone who's very creative, very artistic, romantic. But usually the Knight of Cups is a proposition, a romantic invitation. So you could be hearing from someone that's wanting to connect. And especially with Mercury retrograde this month, it could be someone from the past. And you may be taking a wait and see attitude about this invitation, because the Seven of Pentacles is like, okay, let's see where this is going to go. And it's in your negative thinking. So part of you is like, oh, I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. So don't think negative. And look at this person. He's looking at the past. It's like you're letting the past stop you from creating new connections. So don't focus on the past. Learn from the past, but don't let it hold you back from anything that's new. You have the Seven of Cups, so there could be more than one opportunity. This is in your wish fulfillment. Seven of Cups is being stuck in the choices. So you may have more than one choice to make, or more than one opportunity. It could be more than one relationship. Or, you're just trying to figure it out. Like, where do I want to go from here? I can do this, I can do that. That's what the energy of this card is. It's about, I can do many things. I have many options. Which one really speaks to me? Which is my best option? So you might be considering this month rather than taking action. And that's okay, because you want to be sure before you forge ahead. Don't do anything reckless. Don't do anything, because you're in an emotional state. Like where you have an argument with someone, you go, I'm out of here. And then you go and hook up with somebody, just out of spite. You don't want to do anything like that. You want to take your time if you need it. But with the Seven of Cups, it's an energy of dreaming about the possibilities rather than taking action. So at some point, you're going to have to take action. Probably later on. And like maybe not in June, maybe in July, you might have an opportunity to take action. And you have the Nine of Cups as an outcome, which is a wish fulfillment card. So whatever you're wishing for, you can achieve it this month, or at least get the ball rolling. Even if you don't make a final decision, you could get started on the new path. Get started thinking about it, at least. Planting the seeds. It may not come to fruition this month. It may take, but you're planting this. It may take like next month, or because we're in eclipse energy, maybe up to 6 months before you see the results of what you're planting now. But don't, start planting. Don't lose this opportunity. You have this new moon in your sign, in your first house, and it's an eclipse. So you have this powerful energy for change, to walk across a bridge and leave everything in the past behind. You're like walking into a new environment. So don't carry any baggage from the past with you when you start this new cycle. Let it go. Put it down. Kiss it goodbye. And walk across that bridge. Because usually decisions that you make when around an eclipse, once you make that choice and you walk across that bridge, the past disappears. You can't go back. You have to keep going forward. You're not going to go back to the old. You can only keep moving forward in the new situation. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So you have this new moon eclipse, okay? It's a solar eclipse in your first house, and it's conjunct Mercury. So there could be a lot of communication going on at this time. Neptune's in your 10th house, so there is some confusion and possible deception or illusions around your career and your life path. Like, what do I really want to do? I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay, I've ended this one cycle. Now I don't know where to go from here. Where do I go? Where do I direct my energy? You may feel like people aren't being honest with you. There could be some, because Mercury square Neptune, it has a twofold. There could be deceptive communication, where people are not giving you all the facts, not telling the whole story. But it could also be that you're not reading things correctly, that you're imagining malice where there's none, or you're imagining, Mercury square Neptune is a card of illusion. Just like even when you delude yourself, And it can also mean, sometimes if you have Mercury square Neptune in your natal chart, you're really good at telling stories. It sometimes is the liar's aspect, but it could also mean, it depends on how you use the energy. You could be very creative with words. So you could be a creative writer. You could use that in a positive way and make up stories in a writing, publishing kind of situation, rather than telling a lie or making or exaggerating. So it's all how you have the gift. It's how you use that gift. At the same time that when Mercury retrogrades, it does create a lot of confusion and misunderstanding and miscommunication, and there's all kinds of crazy things going on, especially with technology and travel. So it's not a good time for taking action or initiating something. It's better to just go back to something that you started in the past and try to make it better the second time around. So if you've had a misunderstanding with someone, it's a good time to call them up and say, hey, let's work this out. Let's create some kind of compromise, or go back to a writing project and tweak it and make it better. Go back to some kind of communications project. Let's see. Now, this new moon is also trining Saturn, and Saturn's in your 9th house. So you may decide to go back to school and pick up some new skills. Or you may decide to teach what you know. If you're older and you have a lot of wisdom to share, you may look at a teaching position. You might be dealing with higher education. Or you could be connecting with someone, like you might be deciding to publish something. These are all, when the moon, anything trining Saturn brings longevity, stability. It may mean a lot of work or hard work, but it will bring reward when you're done, and you're going to have to be disciplined throughout the process. Now, Venus will be moving into Cancer at the beginning of the month on the 3rd. And she will be in your 2nd house. So that's the house of money. So Venus is going to bring money in for you. If you've been having some kind of financial issues, Venus will bring in extra income. And Venus is sextile Uranus in the 12th house. So it could mean that you're going to have to take action. You may have to release you may need to free yourself from some psychological baggage around money. So maybe you have this scarcity mentality, or you're like, oh, I've never had anything, I've always struggled. You have to get rid of that. You have to think, I am worth it. I can bring abundance into my life. I can do work that pays me what I deserve to be paid. I'm not going to settle for less. So you have to change your thinking in that way. If you've been thinking like, oh, I'm sacrificing spiritually by not making any money. No. There's nothing wrong with having money. And it's how you use it that makes a difference. Using it selfishly, or using it to help raise your standard and the people around you. Why shouldn't you get paid what you're worth? Why shouldn't you get compensated for the energy you put out there? There's nothing wrong about that. So get rid of any scarcity mentality blockages around security and money and the things that you value. Mars has been going through the 2nd house in Cancer, so it could have increased your expenses over the past couple of weeks. Mars will be moving out of your 2nd house and moving into your 3rd house, so that will give you a break around the finances. And with Venus moving in, Mars moving out, your financial situation should improve. Now, before Mars leaves your 2nd house, though, Mars is going to oppose Pluto in your 8th house. So there could be some power struggles around some finances, like taxes or inheritance or any kind of insurance payout. You may feel like the powers that be are controlling or manipulating, around the finances. You may have some power struggles around money at the end, before Mars moves into Leo. Mars will move into Leo on June 12th. So right after this new moon eclipse. When Mars moves into Leo, it will be out of your 2nd house. It'll be in your 3rd house. So you're going to be speaking up about, it's going to affect your communication style when Mars moves into Leo. You may feel more confident in giving advice, writing, speaking up about communicating with the 3rd house is usually the house of friends. It's the house of communication. But it's the house of friendship. It's the house of your local environment, your siblings. So you might be speaking up more in a family situation. You might be communicating. Just try not to get into arguments, because Mars has a warrior kind of energy. And in Leo, you might be thinking, well, I know best, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do. And just don't get into that. Don't be too bossy when Mars moves into the 3rd house, because then you might have some problems with your relatives. Let's see. Neptune's in your... Okay, we did that. 9th. You have Chiron in the 11th house. And Chiron is sextile Saturn in your 9th house. So I feel like you have some wounds around friendship. Chiron's the wounded healer. So there might be some friendships that you need to reach out to and repair. There might be some wounds there that need to be resolved. And you can do that. You may find that people might be a little bit, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's not going to be an easy fix. But if you take action, you can heal that. Let's see, where do you have Uranus? You have Uranus in your 12th house, and it's squaring Saturn in your 9th house. So yeah, you have to make some changes. You need to be freed from limiting beliefs at this time. Maybe your thinking has been too rigid. Maybe you've been holding on to baggage that you need to let go of, and it's been stopping you from being successful. So you have to change your thinking, because the Saturn-Uranus square, Uranus wants to free you, and it's in your 12th house, so it's freeing you from psychological blocks, ways that we self-sabotage, hidden enemies, the 12th house, anything that has to do with hospitals, institutions, psychology, the unconscious. And Saturn is your belief system in the 9th house. Saturn is showing you the reality. So if you've been in a state of wrong thinking, or you haven't been seeing the truth about how you are affecting your life from an unconscious level, your blind spots, Saturn will show you that truth. And then you can free yourself from that. So this is a good thing. I don't think this is a negative thing. These squares are challenging, but they're there for a purpose, to shake you up and to get you out of a rut. And so that you can be moving in a better direction, in a positive direction. So then we have the full moon in Capricorn, and that's happening in your 2nd house. And so the moon, or the 8th house actually. The moon's in the 8th, the sun is in the 2nd. But the sun is, so something is completing around a financial matter. The 2nd house is money, and the 8th house is money, but it's also, the 8th house is also about intimacy, and it's like it's helping you to confront your demons. It's helping you to see how you've been your worst enemy and when it comes to money and finances and security. So what do I need to feel secure? Have I been depending too much on others for my financial security? Is there anything I need to do to relieve myself, to feel more secure? What do I need? Am I valuing the wrong things that have only been bringing me to a poverty consciousness? Am I not taking action? You have Venus in the 2nd. So like I said, Venus is bringing money in, but it's going to be opposing Pluto in the 8th. So when Venus opposes Pluto, there could be manipulation. You may feel manipulated by the people in your life around a financial matter. That you're dealing with someone, like power struggles, manipulation, control issues, like someone has the purse strings and they're controlling how it's being spent. So there could be some conflict around that. But you're going to see with the full moon, you see the truth, especially in Capricorn. Capricorn is showing you the reality. Then it's up to you to take action and fix things. And usually with the opposition, there has to be some compromise. You have to come to some kind of, both sides have to give a little. And hence we have this Temperance card about, giving and finding a win-win situation or a compromise. Now, Venus is also trining Neptune in your chart. So Neptune, where do you have Neptune? You have Neptune in the 10th. So there could be a new career opportunity coming in that's going to bring you more financial success. It could be even a creative, something creative, because Neptune in the 10th rules creativity. So art, music, photography, film, acting, whatever, anything creative. Neptune is your friend. So if you're confused about what you want to do with your life, if you felt like I want to do something creative, now's your time. When Venus is trining Neptune, you could actually do something that can bring you recognition. Because the 10th house is the public, it's recognition. It's where you get rewarded for the work that you're doing. If Neptune doesn't, it could also mean healing work. So you can do something that relates to healing, spirituality. So let's see, what else do we have here? You have Jupiter in your 10th house, so that's bringing you opportunity and luck. When Jupiter moved into Pisces, it's going to bring you opportunities. So there could be a new opportunity coming up in your career. That's going to be really good. Now Mars is in the 3rd house. It's going to oppose Saturn in the 9th house and square Uranus in the 12th. So there could be some crisis that comes up around communication, around education, with relatives, where you're going to have to really tap into. You could be dealing with institutions that, like hospitals, prisons, psychological issues. So either someone in your family or your life may have some kind of psychological problem you're going to be helping them with. There could be something that comes to a head with Mars opposing Saturn, where you may feel blocked by authority figures. You want to do something and authority figures are saying no. You may have some ideas that you may feel blocked about, or so you may have to speak up, but there will be, Mars and Leo, there could be some conflict with authority figures around some type of communication project. Neptune will go retrograde. Okay, so when Neptune goes retrograde at the end of the month, it will give you greater clarity in your life direction. So a lot of the confusion, as Mercury and Neptune separate from the square, and when Neptune goes retrograde, instead of being confusing, it shows you more of the reality. It gives you more clarity. So you'll be able to sort out where you want to take your life by the end of the month. But whatever you do, I feel like you're going to wind up in a good place with this new beginning. So don't be afraid to embrace new beginnings this month. Don't be open to change and be open to releasing the past. And you can achieve this 9 of Cups. You can achieve your goals. At least get the ball rolling. At least get the seeds planted. And over the next 6 months, you'll be surprised by the time you get to the next eclipse, or by November, you'll be surprised by how much you have changed and how much you have accomplished. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Gemini. If you did, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. Leave a comment, let me know if this resonated with you. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box and we will get you on the schedule. In the meantime, thank you for your support of this channel. Thank you for your comments, your likes, your subscribes. Thank you for purchasing readings. And I will hope you have a wonderful June. Oh, and happy birthday. How could I forget? Happy birthday. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, thanks. Bye now.